What's up, guys? We are back with the Hasbro Marvel team. So we're going to run through, I guess we'll do introductions as usual. I mean, everybody knows who you are, obviously, but let's just run through it and start with Dan real quick.
Yo, what's up, everyone? I am Hype Man Dan. I just hype up these two gentlemen here, these two Marvel legends here. So yeah, that's me. I work on marketing with Ryan.
I'm Ryan, also in marketing with Dan. And we just follow the lead of the next guy here.
And I'm Dwight, and I don't know what I'm doing here, but someone said me to log in to talk to you, so that's what I'm here to do.
I appreciate you just coming in, just
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah,
whether you want to be here or not, or have better things to do. So
are you kidding me? I haven't talked to like real people in 2 years. So
yeah, this is as intimate as it gets. So
yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm all in, man.
So
I'm a real
obviously we
person,
had
Dwight.
PulseCon a few days ago, and there were like a million reveals from everyone. I've honed in on a few things I want to talk about because we don't have all day. So I want to talk about a few things specifically. The first one is you guys revealed Vulcan as a character that's coming up, but the bigger aspect of him, at least in that reveal, was he's an all new body. So he's going to be kind of the new Bucky Cap, I guess is the way you guys described it at the time, because Bucky Cap has been the template for so many figures. The Vulcan's going to be that guy going forward, or at least he's the jumping off point. Now we don't know when he's coming yet. He's coming at some point. Is there going to be kind of a point where Bucky Cap is simply gone? We won't see any of those parts anymore, or are they going to coexist for a little while and we'll see bits and pieces here and there? Or once Vulcan's out, it's kind of all hands on deck.
I think there's going to be a phasing out period here. I got this little thing on these guys standing on my phone so you can see them, because no one got to see him next to anything last time, right? So here you got Vulcan standing next to the super articulated Spider-Man. So you can see he's pretty close to the side, just a little bit taller, but and a little bit broader, but a really nice base figure. But to your direct question, I think you're going to see, I mean, we'd love to just turn off the molds and not use Bucky Cap again. That's just not really that's not how we're allowed to look at things right now, because we have so many tools that are mixing across figures. It's just kind of the DNA of Legends that we would love to turn it off immediately, but we have so many pieces that I can't say that, and who knows if something's going to pop up down the line that we might need those parts for something. So we're definitely going to be trying to use him less. Ultimately, yes, we would love to phase him out completely, but I think you're still going to see him on a handful of figures going forward in the near term. But yeah, we have Vulcan here. We've got the Super Spider-Man, and we've got some new figures that you guys haven't even seen yet that'll also be able to help us in this quest to update and improve and move forward with a nice new era of figures.
Excellent. Okay, that's kind of what I expected, but I was curious to see how that plays out from a logistical standpoint. Like obviously
due to
you can't just
capacity.
stop in one day.
It's due to capacity. A lot of times when there's a new piece, like when we first started doing pinless, people are, how come this new figure isn't pinless? It's like, well, we can't run everything on pinless at the exact same time. So that's something I like to kind of throw out there to remind everyone, as much as we would like to, right?
Yeah,
sure. Keeping in line with Vulcan, but kind of in a different direction. So he's a very specific kind of character for me. So he not only kind of introduces the possibility for a very specific subset of X-Men characters from like that original team that he was on, but he's also very, very heavy on the cosmic side of things. Is he, the same way I mentioned the body being a jumping off point, is he a jumping off point for the potential to kind of dive into that side of things? Because there's not a lot out there for the cosmic side of X-Men. And of course, Galactus is a thing and they don't necessarily clash a lot, but cosmic is cosmic. Gladiator's kind of lonely. We've got a Lilandra head floating out there in the ether for a while. Is this a potential avenue to kind of get into more of that kind of stuff, like War of Kings or Starjammers kind of things, stuff that 90s kids would latch onto?
Yeah, so I'm a big 90s kid myself, right? And every time I see that Lilandra head, I'm just like, man, where am I gonna put that head? And I definitely see the secondary market for Gladiator too. I think that's more so because they want that APOC head, but that body is not, I would say, the most popular body too, right, for Gladiator, right? And yeah, us 90 heads in the team, we love the Shi'ar and we love that that part of the world. That being said, though, so much of the Marvel universe is kind of untapped too, right? Like, and we have this really good problem of Marvel being so expansive and so popular to so many different groups of peoples and collectors and fans, right? So we always need to find a delicate balance of like which side we want to go to. And I hear you that we haven't touched on that specific segment in a while. But yeah, so nothing is out of the possibility. But I will say that, Starjammers and things of that nature have always been in our rap battles when we try to decide for characters in the future, you know what I mean? So they are in that list. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, you know what I mean? We did, like you said about cosmic characters, we did get to touch upon them with the Walgreens exclusives this year. So yeah, we'll see where cosmic goes.
I do want to make Deathbird and Fang at some point. I will throw that out. I do want to get to them.
Excellent. The more the merrier. Moving on to something that's not Vulcan, the Toybiz 20th anniversary stuff. Obviously there's kind of like a roadmap for those figures because they existed. There's wave 1, there's wave 2, there's wave 3 that all kind of came out in that first year. Is it the expectation that we're just going to follow that? Like we're going to follow those figures, or is this more of a, we're starting with wave 1 and maybe we can pick and choose from different waves to kind of celebrate those figures? Or is this literally like, we're just going to try to do as much as we can, bang out waves 1, 2, I think there were 3 in that first year or so, because it wasn't super heavy at the time, but we kind of already know what those figures were.
Yeah, we definitely focused on the starting point. It made sense because you've got those first 4, you have the 3 A-list Avengers, and you've got Toad, which is kind of a random guy, but the fact that he hasn't come out since Toybiz sort of built him up to we think pretty desirable, and the fans really want him. So yeah, when we do these celebrations, especially the deeper you get, it's tough to kind of just randomly pick things throughout the 20-year history. So that's why we preferred going back to the very beginning, kind of like how for X-Men 20th, we went back to that very first X-Men film and did a bunch of those characters. And then for Marvel Studios' first 10 years, we went back to Iron Man 1, right? There was an item there. So we'll see if we have space to continue on the future. I don't know that we'd necessarily be in like complete lockstep if we were. Like I forget who was even in wave 2 and 3 and 4 in the order. But yeah, we just really focused on really nailing these first 4 items that we're super proud of. You've seen 2 of them. We've confirmed the others to follow. They will be released in a staggered fashion. I think you can tell from the pre-order dates, right, on Cap and Iron Man that are up now. They're not all going to be dumping at the same time. So hopefully you can appreciate them as they come out, each of them.
Okay, cool. I was just curious to see where that might take it, because there's also like in that first initial few waves, there's also a Flaming Skull character that has a 50th anniversary next year. So I was curious if that was going to in any way play into how that is decided. So
basically everyone in Marvel in the next 2 or 3 years has a huge anniversary.
Right. Yeah. That is true. It's a big time period. So
yeah.
Okay. So moving on to another subline that you guys revealed, and definitely the big one for me personally, the X-Men animated stuff. So we've already seen 2 figures that you guys shown. There are hints of 2 more that are in the copy on the pre-order listings. Whether those are going to be revealed, I don't know, today or whatever. What's the end game for this line? Like there's obviously the ability to like remake all of the X-Men for people that maybe didn't get them the first time around, because they aren't super stylized, which I really like. They're just cell shaded enough. They're not overt. But there's also the ability to make unmade characters. One that people have been asking for like a very long time, for example, that was made kind of specifically for the show. So is like the goal here to kind of run through the X-Men team and kind of keep this thing going, or are you guys trying to give us like a very contained team that fits this theme and then kind of just like move on with it?
Yeah, so I mean, there will be more. Copy snafu aside, we think fans will be pretty happy. We've got a good mix. I think my end goal would be to ultimately complete that core team. It may take a couple of years, but we've got more planned for 2022. And then anyone that you don't see in year one. Hopefully there's a year 2, 3, and 4. But again, with everything Marvel, there's a lot of competing priorities all of the time, and which is a good thing, a good problem to have, right? But there's some tough choices that need to be made in terms of what lines we can really focus on. But yeah, we think fans will overall be happy. And then, yes, we're aware that there's a certain character that has never before had a Marvel Legend. That was not lost on us when we went into planning this.
He's had a figure. It was in the AOA. We've done it. It's over.
It's over.
Move
All
on.
done. Hey, it's a good
Yeah,
figure.
we're
I like
not-
that
we're not
version
doing
of
it.
whoever that character happens to be. So yeah, I took him and was very happy. But there's a different one out there.
What if we put the AOA morph and put it in a VHS box? Like, how would fans
Oh man,
respond to that?
Yeah, he morphed into the AOA
there you
version.
go. It's
Yeah.
the same character. He just morphed into morph.
I mean, he can make himself look like anything. So you could use that logic as that's him from that universe.
It's an excellent reuse of parts. There's no new tooling there. It's the perfect money making figure, I guess, right?
The fans are sharpening their pitchforks right now.
Like, yeah.
I will say, man, about the animated line, like the greatest barometer of success is based on sales too, right? For us, in terms of influencing, our Marvel counterparts as well. So it's like the more you guys support that line, the more we can probably see things like that. You know what I mean? So I encourage, I'm specifically very biased towards this, right? Because this is like my jumping in point for Marvel. So like, if you guys really want to see more X-Men animated stuff, yeah, let's support it the best way we can.
that was actually going to be one of my questions. So
1A is that the Lewalds loved it, so that made it for us, right?
yeah, I think it was the star of the show for sure, for a number of reasons. So I'm very excited about that, and seems to be, I mean, everybody seems to universally be very excited about those for a number of reasons, from idea to packaging to just the look of the figures and being able to get more X-Men, because I'll take an X-Men every day of the week. So
It might be my favorite Wolverine that I've ever worked on to this point in time. It's like, I mean, it just, the mask is just, it's just a beautiful design. It's really big and oversized and, toyetic, but it works. And I do love our Wolverine body. I do hope at some point to make a Wolverine all over again from scratch. But for what we have in our toolkits today, I think that's probably my favorite Wolverine that we've done so far.
excellent.
Hugh Jackman
And
better
him
not
too,
get
right?
better not watch this.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jared. See you later, brother.
Take care.
Thanks, man.